Nathan. This is the At Odd Show. Please listen.
Forget what you learned in school. Never mind what your parents told you, and disregard what your friends say. From now on, the only people you need to listen to are these guys. For the next several minutes, they'll take you on a journey through the political jungle. And when your journey is over and you're safe at home, they promise you'll be stronger, smarter, and just plain better. So buckle up, hang on to your ears, because your journey starts now.
In this present crisis, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
Boy, that's no truer today than it was, 25, 30 years ago, and I think has been the problem throughout history.
Yeah, I think it's becoming more and more true.
I think it's always been true.
Yeah, for sure, but it's being more apparent. I think it's becoming
is it more
much
apparent,
more obvious,
or are people becoming more aware, or is it because social media has increased and we have the internet and Facebook and ways that we can get things out in a hurry and spread the information?
All of those. That's why it's more apparent, is because it's easier to disseminate this information.
What's easier?
It is easier. You can hop on the internet and have a microphone and talk to people.
Talk about all kinds of mundane things.
Tell them
things that people would never want to listen to in a million years. You could get a couple of wise guys getting on the internet, blabbing on and on and on and on, blather.
Like Thursdays at 8 p.m.
Not like us, because we want to welcome you to At Odds, because we're going to take you on another enjoyable journey through, where, Nate? The political jungle. Today is June 27th. We're broadcasting from the back room of the Flamin' Queen Bar and Studio in a small town in what country, Nate?
Liechtenstein.
Liechtenstein. I love it.
I bet you do.
It sounds delicious. Delicious. Liechtenstein. We didn't have any problem getting here. We came right through customs, no problem. We didn't even have a passport.
We did not have a passport.
Come in. Yeah, come in.
Was
we had 15 bottles of vodka
and classified information from the NSA.
Yeah, they said, come on in.
So they said, let's go. Liechtenstein can always use a
high-class intelligence.
Advantage. Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Because when they attack, and they will, we'll be ready.
Liechtenstein is working on a big partnership with Canada right now.
And Canada is planning to attack.
Yeah, they are currently increasing their nuclear arms capacity.
And our home state, Nate and I, is Michigan, and we're on the front line on the border of Canada.
Yeah, absolutely.
You people in the lower states have to depend on Nate and I as the first defenders of the U.S. soil.
And we apologize for that.
Yeah, sorry. I'm laying down I'm part French. I'm laying down my gun right now.
Hail the Queen. Hail the Queen.
I'm going fishing. Yeah, welcome to the UP. If they got a lot of Upers up there in the UP, they'd be taking care of them guys coming over from Canada, no problem.
That whole nuclear thing with Liechtenstein and Canada,
yeah,
not true. At least not publicly known.
What?
I cannot talk about it.
I think we're breaking a story.
Wait a
minute.
Canada. Uh-oh. Are they German or are they French? What do you do?
We're in Liechtenstein. Where do you think they are? All I know is...
I thought they were Canadian.
Come on in, boys. We've got vodka.
Wow. Anyway, call in. It is live. Thursdays at 8 p.m. You can call in and break up the crap we're talking about, because you're much more interesting than Brian.
Would you like me to give them the number?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll give them the number.
The
number is 248-455-ODDS. That's 248-455-6337.
Thank you, Jack.
Call in and voice your opinions, objections, complaints, whatever you'd like. we'll listen to you. Or not. We can cut you off, too. It doesn't matter.
Here we can.
That's what my wife always says. We want you to visit us on Facebook. Like us there. They can visit our website.
Yeah, at oddshow.com.
Yeah. Some people, I'm sure, are listening to it right now on the website. We also, Nate and I, wrote a book, My Parents Open Carry, a great Second Amendment kids book about a day in the life of Brenna, whose parents open carry for their protection. And I want you to listen to the Nate Nephew Show. And we're brought to you by Superior Talk Network. Nate, where can they listen to you?
NathanNephew.com. That's the easiest place. Or Red State Talk Radio.
That's what I was going
At
for.
Odds is also broadcasting Red State Talk Radio several times throughout the week. So
Yeah, lucky you guys.
RedStateTalkRadio.com. Look at the broadcast schedule. You can find the date and time to tune in.
We're going to talk about a lot of stuff today. I think we're going to talk a little bit about some Supreme Court decisions. There's been some. I don't know if you've been listening to the news. There was a couple of decisions that came out with the Supreme Court.
I don't watch the news.
We'll talk a little
Just
bit about
for weather.
Snowden. Yeah,
I
weather.
only watch the news for weather.
Yeah, how's that working out?
And that's what's
What's the weather out?
Name
What's
her name? Rachel. Jeanette, Gentle.
I don't know.
But the
look in your
Zimmerman,
eye right now is starting to scare me when you say her name.
The witness in the Zimmerman trial, Trayvon Martin thing. Yeah, she doesn't watch the news only for the weather.
Oh, is that where you were going?
Yeah, that's where I was
wondering
going,
where
but I couldn't remember her name.
The weather in Liechtenstein.
She also can't read cursive.
Eyes bright and shiny, like strudel and peaches. Anyways, yeah, she couldn't. I guess was it the defense attorney gave her letter that she supposedly had written to the court or whatever about what happened
to Trayvon's mom, right?
I don't know.
I think
what
it was
it
a
was.
letter. Yeah, a letter that she'd written to Trayvon's mom. I think
she said, "Could you please read this?" And she go, "I can't read that. I don't read cursive." She recognized her name, I guess.
Yeah, but apparently she had somebody help her write the letter.
I'm
make
assuming
it legible and English.
Is that her first? Oh, that's not her first language, is it?
They
don't teach cursive in school anymore. Apparently, they teach Arial and.
They sure do teach cursive in school.
No. I heard a lot of people saying that kids don't learn that anymore.
I'm guessing she didn't pay much attention in school.
No, they don't teach it. They teach Arial, is it, and Times New Roman or something.
That's a funny joke.
It's not that funny.
No, it's not funny at all because they do teach cursive.
No, they don't.
They do.
No, they don't.
Okay.
Do they?
Yes.
I don't think they do.
Okay.
I heard they don't.
Yeah, I'm sure you heard that.
It's been a long time since I've been in school.
Me too, but I know somebody that's in school.
Really?
Yeah, and she's learning cursive.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, no, never mind. I won't say that because
Okay.
I would get all kinds of trouble.
Yeah.
So we got the headline is Immigration Reform Passed by Senate, huh? I don't know much about that. I didn't catch that. You had that written in the notes.
Is that the headline, or is the headline Democrat voter base almost ready to expand by 11 million?
That would have been better.
That would have been a much better headline, right? Yeah, no, today, because since we just passed an amendment, yesterday, 2 days ago, in the Senate, then today we just vote on the whole thing. And of course, we have 68, 69 senators, whatever it was, 70-some, I don't remember, that voted for it. They passed their version of the Comprehensive Immigration Bill, also known as amnesty.
I don't think it's also known as that.
With
officially.
No, like Obamacare. We call it what it is.
I don't know.
The problem with this is that we've been promised, and I've talked about this so many times, I'm almost getting tired of talking about it. I tried not to talk about it on my show this week, but I just couldn't help it.
Yep.
Couldn't help it. People like Marco Rubio coming out constantly saying that border security is number one. That the first thing that any real immigration bill will do is secure the border. And then you talk to them, the first thing that their immigration bill will do is give these
amnesty.
11 million legal status in the United States of America.
Somebody needs to keep him straight. Doesn't he have like a press person or staff that can say, "Hey, Mario"?
No. He's saying exactly what he wants to say. He's lying. He's lying. And they claim that you cannot secure the border until you identify the 11 million here and make them legal. And I was thinking about this.
Couldn't we kind of work towards both simultaneously? It's not either or,
Yeah,
is it?
and we'll get to that real quick.
Okay.
But my analogy is you're sitting in your living room and a pipe breaks under your sink.
Mm-hmm.
And so water is flowing into your kitchen.
Been there.
Do you identify the water and round it up first? Or do you plug the damn hole or turn the water off and then clean up the water on the floor?
What I usually do is go, honey, got a problem
Well,
down in the basement. Take care of it.
And that's what's been happening for
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
next session. Right. But, I mean, really, you stop the leak. That's what we have. We have a leak.
Well, yeah.
Stop
but
the leak.
The thing is, how long realistically would it take to, secure the border? I mean, I keep hearing
a week?
Well, I keep hearing talking about a fence. That takes a lot of time, and you got to put stuff out for bids.
It takes longer if you're not working on it.
Yeah. And
There's already a law on the books today.
I told you, Mike, here, we do not want, the government does not want to secure the border.
Absolutely not.
We want people to come in here because it helps our economy. We want to stop immigration. I told you my 5-point plan.
Yeah.
We start shooting everybody as they come across. That's the first thing.
Well, I don't think it was everybody. I think it was 1 or 2 people, and they'll get the point.
Yeah, they'll get the point. You deny benefits to everybody that can't document that they're a citizen. You don't give any health care. You don't give any social services. You can't enroll your kids in schools. I got a few other points, but they're all ugly.
We're doing that.
Oh, I know.
That's what
it
this...
was. You penalize employers that hire illegals. You put them in jail for 50 years.
Right, you put in more government systems.
Right, that's how you take care of it.
To have oversight of,
you throw more government
American
at it.
businesses. Yeah, well, right, and that's what's happening. That's what they're telling you. Border security, we're spending billions of dollars on security. We're putting technology. We're putting drones on the border. We're going to build this nice fence. We're going to have 20,000 new border agents. Okay, after we give legal status to the felons who are here illegally in our country. My take is they should never get legal status until they get their asses in the back of the line behind the people trying to do it legally, and then maybe we can see if we actually want them or need them in this country. They don't deserve legal status as it is. I don't care if they're here. I don't care if they're in the shadows. They don't deserve it. We shouldn't ever give them legal status. That is not how you secure the border. All that does is increases the incentive for the people who haven't crossed the border yet to do it real quick before the bill... Before this becomes law.
Nate, you don't have a heart, do you? You don't have any compassion.
Yeah, and that's
humanity.
the thing. I hate all Hispanics, right? I mean, and that's
no,
what we've been hearing.
I think you just hate people.
That's what. Some of these people that lie, I'm not very fond of them. I wouldn't say I hate them. I don't hate anybody.
No, we dislike intently.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Now,
hate's very strong.
The House has promised not to pass or even vote on the Senate's bill because it goes to the House now.
Well,
they're
it's
going to do
by the Republicans.
They're going to do their own thing. Yeah, but theirs is almost worse. Well, it's not worse, but Paul Ryan, you remember him, vice presidential candidate, ran with Mitt Romney.
No,
yeah.
the name escapes me.
His plan that they're going to try to do is you give the illegals legal status for 5 years. Temporary legal status for 5 years. If the border is
double secret probation?
Yes. If the border is not secure within 5 years, we revoke their legal status.
Or if they get in trouble, kick them out.
Do you just that though? Base point. 5 years. If the border is not secure, we revoke their legal status. So what we're going to do: make 11 million people legal.
Right.
Then the border won't be secure in 5 years.
Provisionally,
it won't be secure in 5 years. What
no,
are we going to do?
Not. We'll have another 11 million in.
We'll just go back to having the first 11 million illegal again. Do you ever think, or will it be the next crisis like the debt ceiling? That will say, oh, their legal status is almost up. We haven't secured the border. We need an emergency resolution to extend their legal status another 5 years.
And to expand federal government.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that's the danger here is that the House will pass their own bill. Then we get the special committee between the Senate and the House. They work together and come up with a compromise, which is what the Democrats want.
I feel there's no easy solution, but there is. That's what's so sad about
absolutely.
it. Yeah,
absolutely. There's an easy solution.
Yeah.
Start by enforcing laws we already have.
Yeah. And again, I told you, I mean, economically, the U.S. government benefits from cheap labor. People benefit from having illegals work in this country and do jobs that others don't want at less than competitive wages.
Right.
If there wasn't a benefit to it, I don't think we would put up with it.
It's proof.
Although I could be wrong.
You are wrong in one sense that we would still have cities in California.
What?
We would still have cities in California and New York that are sanctuary cities that will still take these people in and feed them and clothe them and not make them work, even if it wasn't beneficial for society. That's what socialists do. But what this points to, you're exactly right. It's beneficial for a company to give somebody a job and pay them less because they're not regulated, because it's illegal. That points out the problem that the real issue is regulation in the United States. Maybe don't have a national minimum wage because it doesn't do any good. And then you wouldn't have to get illegal labor that you can afford to keep your business afloat. You could hire Americans because Americans will do the jobs. I don't care what you hear and what people say. They will if they have to and they're getting paid. And they don't have the alternative, which
that's
is
just it.
Obamacare, food stamps, socialism.
A lot of people don't have to work and they can make as much as or similar to what they would be making at
or more.
$7
Absolutely.
an hour.
Yeah, immigration's been firing me up lately, and I'm not really happy about it. And I saw Paul Ryan this week talking about this crap, and I was like, ugh, wow. Because he was played up to be the good conservative during the election, right? He was supposed to pull Mitt Romney through, and he's not any better than the rest of them. Marco Rubio is turning out to be just like everybody else in Washington, D.C. He's going the wrong way. He needs to turn around now if he wants any hope of surviving. He thinks what he's doing is making...
Rand Rubio.
No, I would not like that. I would hope Rand Paul wouldn't do that.
Yeah, he probably would.
Absolutely. But Marco Rubio needs to stop what he's doing.
But he'd get the Hispanic vote. Maybe.
It's too late, though. He can't jump off it. He already voted for it. He won't get the Hispanic vote.
Oh, really?
That's the fallacy of this whole thing.
Huh.
Hey, all right, 248-455-ODDS, 248-455-6337, Facebook.com/@OddsShow.
I think we're going to be back with some SCOTUS stuff.
All right.
SCOTUS. I like that word, SCOTUS.
See you on the flip side.
Hi, you're listening to the @Odd Show with Nate and Brian. And may you be in heaven a half an hour before the devil knows you're dead.
The voice of American conservatism. WRS Digital, Red State Talk Radio.
Fact. U.S. credit card debt is 8 times larger than it was 30 years ago. No wonder you and I are feeling the credit card crunch. You're not alone. Increasing prices and the costs of credit are stretching budgets and preventing people just like us from getting ahead or just catching up with our debts. At American Financial Debt Relief, we can help. We have tested ways to help you get out of debt. Find out how now. The call is free to learn more. If you qualify, we can reduce your interest, show you how to stop your debt from getting larger, and help you get out of debt faster than you can by making minimum payments. So if you're falling behind on your credit cards or medical bills, give us a call right now, where a free 5-minute call can change your life.
800-978-4815. 800-978-4815. Reduce your credit card debt. Call now. 800-978-4815. 800-978-4815.
Real radio for real Americans.
Red State Talk Radio.
Obama wants your money, and he's determined to get it. He wants your money to buy off unions, his Wall Street cronies, and to expand the Obama welfare nation. Well, Swiss America is determined to stop him from stealing your money. They want to send you an award-winning film, I Want Your Money, on DVD that exposes his plan. It'll help keep the government's hands off your money using gold, silver, and other hard asset strategies to protect your hard-earned money. Call today and request the DVD, I Want Your Money, normally $19.95, yours absolutely free. Let Swiss America show you how to use gold, silver, and other hard assets to protect your hard-earned money. Call now. 800-932-5146. 800-932-5146. Call Swiss America right now. Learn all about investing in gold. 800-932-5146. 800-932-5146. Call now.
And we're back. I'm Brian.
I'm Nate.
And you're listening to At Odds. We're going to talk a little bit about the SCOTUS. That's the Supreme Court of the United States. Not like POTUS and FLOTUS.
It actually is exactly like them. It's an acronym for of something of the United States.
It's not exactly like. Next you're going to say it's mostly unique.
It's more unique.
Or
now,
it's sort of unique.
What's surprising is it's not part of the executive branch.
No, it's not.
Or the legislative branch
is it
government.
separate?
And they still kind of act like they're part of both.
What are they?
Yeah, no, it's Juddle? The Juddle branch, I think.
The Judelish?
I think it's the judiciary branch.
The I'm Delicious branch.
Yes.
Yeah.
And have you seen Ginsburg?
She's looking kind of hot.
So, I mean,
she's 80-something
delicious.
or whatever. Yeah, delicious.
Yeah, she needs to...
She's a feisty old broad.
She needs to go away.
Yeah, but...
Maybe go to Egypt and help them form a constitution.
Not yet. Do you really want Obama to appoint the next one?
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, it's a good point. I want her to hang around for a few more years.
I'm going to start giving them protein shakes and smoothies.
Yes. Take Viagra away from her husband. We want to do her to death.
No, Thomas, you cannot eat that. You have to have this very healthy food.
Put the fried foods and the pizza,
the frog gua and
the prongs, the garlic sautéed
pina
prongs,
coladas. And...
Wait a minute, let's not get carried away. We're talking about what's his face, James Gandolfini. His last meal. Nate wants to reproduce this last meal.
No, it turns out he found a lethal combination of food and drinks.
We call it the dead man's meal.
Yeah, and if you eat it, you die.
You die, and that's a double order of fried prongs and garlic and onions and butter.
A big heaping plate of frog gua.
He had
liver,
which is duck or goose liver, and it's delicious, by the way.
Yep.
And then he had 10 drinks, which were
8. Come on,
I thought you said it was 10.
He didn't make it to 10.
Well, he had...
it was 8, like 2 pina coladas, 2 shots of rums, and 4 beers or something.
Yeah,
which was weird.
I thought he had some vodka or something. Yeah, why wouldn't you drink wine all night long?
Pina coladas?
Yeah,
in Rome?
No. Well, he was at Trader Vic's or some Polynesian...
McDonald's.
No, I don't think it was McDonald's. They'd serve red wine at McDonald's in Italy.
I'm sure they do.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to do that. You know, you were telling me about that. He said he had 8 or 9 drinks, and I'm worried about you, Brian.
Yeah.
Because I have had 10, 15 drinks just during our show.
But you don't eat goose liver.
I don't eat goose liver, and that's the trick.
It is.
You eat chicken liver.
Yeah.
Because chicken liver isn't quite as rich and creamy and buttery. Oh.
Now I'm hungry.
Oh, God. I love liver pate. It's delicious. Anyways, we're going to talk about SCOTUS, I think, weren't we?
Yeah, we are.
And their decision on voting rights. You want to highlight that? They are saying that the federal powers are going to be more limited within the states.
Sure, yeah. So in 1965, law went into effect, and what it did was limited a bunch of states.
Very different time.
Texas and some states that had a known problem with discrimination against blacks.
Which was, a lot of the South.
Including, actually, like Buena Vista Township or something in Michigan, a couple townships in Michigan.
Michigan has historically been kind of a racist
But it was really only a couple...
Or a racist state.
Which is weird, right? Because we kind of did a lot in the Civil War.
We did, and we were sort of the end point of the Underground Railroad.
Yeah, so...
Baldwin and a lot of areas in the state.
It's interesting. But basically what it did was it forced these states or these municipalities to get federal approval before they changed their voting laws.
Yeah, and they set up certain rules that they had to follow. And there was a formula. If your population was a certain number of blacks versus white versus whatever, I don't know what that formula was, but it was some type of formula. If you met and the numbers added up, then you had more federal government control than other cities, municipalities, or states. And the thing was, it was burdensome because it was things as much as if you wanted to change your voting poll from maybe the fire station to the church, and it was across the street, you had to get federal permission for it. It was,
yeah, absolutely.
It was cumbersome. It was burdensome.
Yeah. Well, I think, so this fell under the law. Florida, or a county in Florida, wanted to clean their voter registry. They had a bunch of people that were either dead or
moved,
shouldn't, or not legal or whatever.
They didn't live there anymore or something.
They got in trouble for trying to delete those names
without permission from the
without
feds.
permission. They didn't get permission first, and that's crazy. Times have changed. That's 50 years ago now, almost,
or more, or less.
Well, 65,
150. Who knows?
Plus or minus.
I'm not good with math.
No, I know you aren't. But what the Supreme Court said, they didn't completely stop the federal government from having regulation in this zone. What they said is
they threw it back to Congress, didn't they?
They said you can rewrite the law if you want,
Right.
but there does have to be specific evidence of discrimination.
What was the term they used? There had to be not extraordinary, but extenuating, or there was some term they had to meet. There was some legal sort of definition of in order to do certain things. So it
Being a
gives
lawyer, you would think you would know the term.
Yeah,
You just barely passed the bar. So
I could never pass a bar. That was the problem. I had to go in there and have a drink every time I went by a bar.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a lawyer. I'm a geologist, Jim. Damn it, Jim.
Huh.
I'm a geologist, not a lawyer.
Anyway, yeah, so I think that was a good ruling.
We need our buddy
by the Supreme
Steve
Court.
Doolin to come in and talk about this.
Yeah, we should.
He's a law professor and a practicing a lawyer. I don't know how he sleeps at night.
Really big into voter laws, right?
Yeah, he's an expert on voter laws. Sorry, Steve.
Maybe firearms more so. But.
More so. And I'm sure he's an expert in a lot of areas. I'm not going to sell him short.
No.
Whatever you do, he didn't help me with my divorce. I got screwed on that.
Yeah, he's the type of guy you don't want to make mad, mostly because he's a lawyer.
Yeah, and he carries a gun.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, Steve. He doesn't listen to the show, anyways. I hope he doesn't listen to the show. He's a lawyer. We're dead, aren't we? Anyways, voting laws. So it gives more power to the state. Maybe a good thing, maybe a bad thing. Time will tell. I think it's a good thing. I'm not a big fan.
It's got to be a good thing.
Not a big fan of federal oversight of the states. I believe in state rights.
Yeah, the 10th Amendment and things like that.
What?
Yeah.
There's what?
The Constitution.
What?
10th Amendment.
What is the Constitution anymore? All right, we've talked about that. We don't really have anything to say. We shall see on that. DOMA, though. That's don't over my ass. DOMA. That stands for that, isn't it? Isn't that
yeah, Defense of Marriage Act.
Oh,
signed into law by none other than the very, very faithful, never did anything with an intern, Bill Clinton.
What does Pepperidge Farm have to say about that?
Oh, yeah.
They remember.
They do remember. They remember everything.
I don't know what you want to say about that. I'm not going to say too much one way or the other. Personally, my view is you're either equal or you're not. People can call... What?
No, don't... The Defense of Marriage Act was not making gay marriage any less equal than staying single when it comes to things like federal benefits, which is what people are whining about.
You didn't let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
We're either equal or we're not. And my point is, you either give benefits to everyone or you give benefits to no one. But I don't think you can exclude homosexuals from certain federal benefits based on who they share their life with. And that was the issue at hand. You can hate homosexuality, you can embrace homosexuality, it doesn't matter. But when the federal government sticks their nose into the personal lives of the individual, I have a problem with that.
Here's the problem with all of these arguments is everybody seems to be taking the wrong angle. The federal government isn't excluding people from federal benefits that shouldn't be excluded. They're giving federal benefits to people who shouldn't have the certain federal benefits for any reason.
Really?
Yeah, really.
All right, well, let's talk about some of those benefits. I looked at that. You can see them. They're right in front of you on my great prep. You don't look at that.
I don't look at it.
You don't look at that.
Go ahead.
Well, for our military, that's the first thing. Right now, our federal government gets certain benefits to spouses of military personnel, right? Mm-hmm. They get notified first if they're hurt or killed in action. They get survival benefits. They get, housing preferences and things for people that are in the military for their spouses. Gay couples weren't getting that. That's wrong.
Yeah, right. And
so they get that now.
Single people don't get that sort of thing, right? If they want to live with anybody. I mean, what's the
if they don't
difference?
live with someone, yeah.
There's no difference, is my point, between choosing not to marry or marrying anybody. There shouldn't be a different set of benefits for any class of people.
I think the United States has decided that there are certain benefits with stable relationships. Traditionally, that's been a man and a wife.
Yeah,
now it's going to have to expand that. So they give benefits to people that are in stable relationships. So I suppose you could go to common law and say if there was a non-married heterosexual couple that were living together in the military, that if they've been together so many years, then that partner should get the same benefits as a married couple should get.
How many years? I mean,
well, that's to be determined. But I'm saying, what you're saying is, all right, I joined the military and I have my wife, all right? And so she should get no acknowledgement, no recognition, no benefits from the federal government for being my spouse?
No, I'm saying what's the difference if you are there with your wife?
Yeah.
I'm talking legally, government-wise, not know personally. Or I'm there with my best friend who I've been with, but I'm not in love with. I mean, really, when we're looking at this
there is
level,
a difference.
I don't think there is. It's the same thing, because it's the same difference between a man and a woman who can actually have children and keep the species going.
Oh,
and,
let's not
and two
get
men
into that
can't.
crap. That's
it's
crap.
the same difference. What I'm saying is the government has no place in any of this.
Because gay couples can't
get rid of marriage,
adopt or anything, and have children. And there are a lot of straight couples that can't have kids. So let's throw that argument out right away.
So can single people. That's my point.
And they can. And you know what? Kids, I think, of single parents get benefits in the military. All right, you talk about immigration. That's another thing that came out. There was a case where there was an immigrant that had married a same-sex partner in a state. It was New York. It was legal. It was recognized by the state, and they were going to deport him because the federal government didn't recognize that as a marriage. Now this poor guy can stay in the country with his partner who's been together for some 10 or 12 years.
Yeah, and that was going to be part of the immigration package. I don't know if it actually ended up being part of that or not, but they were going to have a clause in there that talked about same-sex immigrants. So if somebody was here and married somebody that was still in Mexico or whatever, they could then become legalized, whatever form of legalization they used. But
and then there's estate issues, inheritance issues, tax issues, IRA issues, Social Security, all those things. You either give them to everyone or you give them to nobody.
Yeah, and I vote for nobody.
I see.
And you're not talking about... when you talk about taxes, what you're saying is like, well, hey, you still have to pay these taxes, but we'll give you a break because you're married. What is that about?
That's about encouraging people to have stable relationships because stable relationships benefit society. That has been...
They do?
Well, that has...
They do. Tell me how...
Yes. All right.
Tell me how two men living together benefit society any more than a single person living by themselves or two completely platonic friends living together.
I'm not arguing that. I'm saying that traditionally the man and wife relationship has been given certain benefits when they've been legally married because those relationships tend to benefit society, or that was the idea.
And that hasn't changed.
And that hasn't changed, and I think the same thing can be argued for gay couples.
Yeah, I don't know if it can. And maybe it can, but I don't see how.
Especially if they can have children and raise children, because God help us, all these single parents raising these kids has really helped our society in the last 20 years. It's just become more socially acceptable to have, single parents raising kids.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know that does. But
now you're arguing against yourself, but all right.
How?
The thing with this DOMA ruling is that it pretty much pushes it back to the states. States can still regulate marriage to an extent, and what this is saying is if somebody gets married in a place like New York and then moves somewhere like Michigan does not have to honor that
constitutionally
marriage.
In our state constitution.
So Michigan does not have to honor a same-sex marriage from another state.
Right.
But I do believe that the federal benefits will carry over. Anything
that's
that they were getting
that's
from the federal
unknown.
government.
That's unknown at this time.
I think it will happen.
No, I've heard a lot of the pundits talking, a lot of people coming out there. That's unclear at this point.
Yeah.
Whether it will be.
You should probably believe what you heard, because I'm sure it was.
I'm just throwing it out there. That's unclear. Okay. I don't think that you can declaratively say they will get the benefits. I don't know that that's known.
Can I say I think they'll get the benefits, which is exactly what I said?
Yeah, you can
Maybe
say
listen,
I think.
and then
I don't like to listen to you
about it. The other thing with gay marriage that the Supreme Court came out and actually didn't really make much of a ruling on. They found no standing with Proposition 8.
Yeah.
California. They didn't even want to see it, said it shouldn't be here, which is true. That's accurate. They sent it back to I think it's the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals.
Yeah, they say
which basically
upheld.
says
it's unconstitutional.
It's unconstitutional.
Right, which opens the gates for all the other states to file grievances and lawsuits against those states that have constitutional prohibition of gay marriages.
The problem with this one is Proposition 8 twice was voted into law by a majority of the citizens of the state.
I'm not even going to go there, because you and I both know that democracy is two wolves and a sheep deciding what to have for dinner.
You're absolutely right. It's better
so democracy doesn't work. We are not a democracy.
Much better
We're a republic.
to have 9 people sitting on a court.
Well, I disagree with that as well.
9 people with lifelong appointments.
And that's why we have a Congress,
decision.
and that's why we can make laws, and that's why we have states, and there's all these checks and balances.
But we can't make laws that are in line with what the people want.
Apparently,
right?
Not always. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because
I don't know.
You know what the smallest minority is? The individual, Nate. And the individual has to have freedom. Because if the individual doesn't have freedoms, then we all lose.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And
the greatest good for the greatest number is bullshit.
My stance has not changed, that the government, state and federal, especially the federal government, should not have any place in marriage. That's a personal thing. You and your church, you and your dog, whatever.
I agree with that. I don't think we disagree with that.
And nobody's been banned from getting married in this country ever, as far as I know. I mean, what you're talking about are the benefits that in most cases shouldn't exist anyway.
And legally wise.
Yeah, right.
But people have been harmed because there's a case in Michigan about adoption in gay couples that may end up going to the Supreme Court of the country. Right now it's in the higher courts in the state. They're not allowing gay couples to adopt the children that they've had for years. So what happens when the parents die, or there's medical issues, and who can grant consent for, emergency procedures and all that kind of stuff?
Nothing's perfect, especially when you change, what has been going on for hundreds of years and try to involve the government in something. You're not going to get a system that really works in all cases, or even sometimes in most cases.
No, but I guess I'd rather err with equality, and I'd rather err on the side of individual
the government
rights and freedoms.
Cannot grant equality. That just can't happen.
They can
when government's
only
involved. When government is involved, I think by rule, you have something other than equality. It's just there's no way. There's no way. I mean, we see it with the IRS. They're fair, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Targeting conservatives.
Let's move on. You have a soundbite of your favorite president.
Oh, we've already passed that.
Really?
We're on
Prop 8. That's a Prop 8 thing.
We're past Prop 8. You said let's move on, but okay.
No,
this was Obama in Africa. $100 million trip to Africa with his family, so thanks. But hey, do not try to tour the White House, because White House tours are still closed. I'm going to play this only because Brian wants to. We already talked about what the reason I wanted the soundbite.
Yeah, but you're going to...
Well, first of all, I think the Supreme Court ruling yesterday was not simply a victory for the LGBT community. I think it was a victory for American democracy.
My point was that, first of all, like you said, it's not a democracy. Second of all, it actually flew in the face of democracy.
Right.
Because democracy voted Proposition 8 into law twice, 2 different times.
So what he should have said, it was a victory for a republic.
What he should have said was it was a quasi-victory for LGBT community.
Oh, my God.
Is what I don't think so. Said.
First they came for, this, and they come for the gays, and they come for the Jews, and then they come for you. Oh, my God. Listen, we're all in this together.
What are you talking about?
The enemy is the state and the government.
I really don't understand you.
I think that's...
I think you have the problem a lot of people do where you can't separate
reality
personal views and what the government government should
non-reality.
Do. Yeah, pretty much. That's it. I think there's a term for that, and I think it's nutcase. What it is
the color of my
crazy ass cracker is the word for that. Crazy ass cracker.
I love that. That's what,
which is not, by the way, a racial or offensive term.
I guess not.
According to the witness in the Zimmerman trial.
I just asked Dean. What's her name?
Oh, Paula Dean.
Paula Dean.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Politically correct.
It's too bad that all sorts of things came out from so many years ago, and then we find out, actually 2 years ago, there's evidence of her.
Do you know what she said?
Discriminating. Yeah, she said a lot of things.
But do you know exactly what the thing that came out in the deposition was? About the wedding?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can look that up. I'm not going to repeat it.
No.
But not a great person, apparently. So.
Oh, I think she's just a typical 70-something Southern white
cracker.
Crazy-ass cracker from the South, who Trayvon Martin called Zimmerman a crazy ass cracker.
According to the witness, Trayvon didn't actually tell us that.
Well,
we're going to take a quick break. Call us up, 248-455-ODDS. Yes, really, Brian. You're kind of pissing me off today. I don't know if you've noticed. 248-455-6337.
The bar wench brought in...
Facebook.com/AdOddshow.
Brought in app.
If you're looking for a great time, I suggest you listen to the At Odd Show with Nate and Brian.
Red State Talk Radio.
The idea of government taking over healthcare is enough to make you sick.
The conservative voice.
I will never forget the day my son Jeremy told me he hated me and slammed the door in my face. I'm behavioral therapist Janet Lehman. Behavior problems can turn the child you love and your life into a nightmare. That's why my husband James and I created the Total Transformation, the step-by-step program that shows you how to fix the worst behavior problems and get your child to respect and listen to you again. No matter what the behavior, defiance, backtalk, angry outbursts, disrespect, we can help you stop it. Now you can get the Total Transformation for free. All you need to do is get the program and let us know how it works for you. You can keep it forever for free.
Limited number of free programs available. Call now. 1-800-257-2873. 1-800-257-2873. 1-800-257-2873. That's 1-800-257-2873.
Great shot, Bob. I think you're on.
I just followed your lead.
Hey, by the way, did you break ground on your new building?
No way. I'm holding off until I see what the future holds.
So you're seeing a fortune teller?
You know what I mean. Things look a little uncertain.
The only thing certain in business is if you're not growing, you're losing. And we just opened our 5th facility last week. If you're following my lead, you'll call General Steel. Their pre-engineered steel buildings could save you as much as half the cost compared to conventional buildings. And they're up in nearly half the time, and backed with a 50-year structural warranty.
Yeah, but steel buildings...
Hey, you've seen my building. Does it look like steel?
No, it looks great.
Ask about rebates that could save you up to $20,000. Look, you can stop paying rent and own a building that suits your business better and probably saves you money by operating more efficiently. In times like these, don't stop spending, just spend wisely.
800-398-8309, 800-398-8309, 800-398-8309, 800-398-8309.
Red State Talk Radio.
Why spend more than you have to on your life insurance? Did you know that term life insurance rates have fallen over 60% in the last 15 years? At the Life Insurance Quote Line, we monitor the rates, features, and financial strength of hundreds of life insurance products. For example, a healthy 40-year-old can protect his family with $500,000 of 10-year level term for less than $20 a month. Rates for women are even lower. And don't forget to ask us about the new term life policies that guarantee your money back even if you don't die. Since 1986, we've helped tens of thousands of people just like you save a fortune on their life insurance. Why not find out how much you can save? Write down this number and call today for your free quote. 1 5-minute call is all it takes. Call 800-610-3497. 800-610-3497. That's 800-610-3497. Rates, policy forms, and availability vary by state.
back. I'm Brian.
And I'm Nate.
You're listening to At Odds.
And Brian said "and" before you heard anything. He said "and we're back," but you missed part of that.
What did they miss?
Nothing.
We were talking on the break. Apparently, Nate's all upset with me and mad at me because I won't bow down to him. I don't know. He doesn't like it when people challenge him and talk back to him.
Yeah, when they're wrong.
Well, either way.
Yeah, no, just when you're wrong, or just when you argue. What if I'm
really
that
right?
I wasn't actually saying.
What if I'm
the
right?
Frustrating part.
That doesn't bother you when I'm right and prove you wrong? That pisses you off too.
You've
never heard that? You've never experienced that?
I haven't had the opportunity to experience that yet.
I hate you so very, very much. Zimmerman judge scolds the jury.
Yeah, this one's frustrating because I've been avoiding, and I've been doing a good job avoiding talking about this Trayvon Martin case because it's a local case, and I'm really getting tired of hearing about it. It should be handled in Florida. I feel if Zimmerman really did what he did in self-defense justifiably, I feel really bad for the guy.
Yeah, his life's screwed either way.
This is OJ in reverse.
Yeah.
If he's found
innocent,
not guilty, his life's over anyway.
Yeah,
because
they'll kill him.
Riots and but they
will.
He hasn't had even before he was arrested. His life was not the same of him or his family.
Right. I agree, and that's a shame. What pisses me off is that apparently the prime witness or one of their best witnesses for the prosecution,
and she's a good one.
Yeah, the so-called girlfriend or just a friend or what? I don't know what she is.
She's a friend,
but she talks kind of real quiet, and she talks in the vernacular of Southern blacks, and people can't understand her. And the jury apparently was going like, "Excuse me, what did you say? What's a crazy ass cracker? What's a cracker? What do you mean by that?" And they kept asking questions, and the judge got mad and told the jurors, you can't ask questions and you can't do this and all that crap. And my point is,
quite.
What?
No. What I'm saying is,
And my point is, the jury has all the power in a court case. The judge thinks they do, but the jury can definitely ask questions of anybody in the case. They can take notes. I've heard of judges saying, "Oh, you can't take notes." They can take notes. They can do all kinds of stuff. They have all the power in the world. What is the judge going to do? Are they going to say, "Oh, you're in contempt and you'll have to leave"? No judge is going to say that.
Yeah,
disrupt
I don't know
the
if
trial
I don't know if they
and start
can.
it over or kick a juror off or whatever.
Yeah,
that's just not going to happen.
There's no way. There's no way that would happen.
People that are listening, if you're ever on a jury, you have a lot of power. Don't let the judge intimidate you and tell you what you can and cannot do. You have a lot of power as a juror.
What we've seen in
unfortunately, they don't teach that in school.
What we've seen in a couple places is judges actually creating rules, not allowing people to give out this information, talk about jury nullification, things like that. That just because it's law, if it's not right, it's not right. The jury has the power.
Right.
And, of course, like you said, you can ask questions. That's something that nobody really knows. You don't think about that because
and
you
they're
see it on
intimidated
TV.
by a judge. They're up higher than you. They got a hammer.
Absolutely.
They wear a black robe. I mean, they look like the Grim Reaper without the hood.
The hammer of Thor.
Yeah. Thor's hammer. I mean, I'm afraid you're going to get electrocuted. So, people are afraid of judges. Don't be afraid of judges. Screw them. If you're on a jury, you have a lot of power. Stand up for that. And you know what they say? Well, your job isn't to pontificate or to moralize any kind of law here. You're just supposed to follow the law. That is absolutely not true. If you feel a law is unjust or unconstitutional, it is your duty as a U.S. citizen in a free state to fight back and say, no, this law is not fair. I guess maybe that's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because we have a republic, so the people shouldn't have any power, right, Brian?
The people have all the power.
Oh, okay.
Are you saying that I don't think that's true? I'm going to kill you. And I'll show you how much power
Well, you
I
heard
have.
it here first, folks. Next up, after the Zimmerman trial,
You're
is
gonna read
the Brian Jeffs trial.
A Michigan newspaper headline.
Was it self-defense?
Was it self-defense? No, it wasn't. Just pissed him off one too many times.
Yeah. Well, yeah, fair enough.
Oh boy, I don't know where we want to go. We're almost out of time. Do you want to talk about Snowden, or do you want to go down?
I always want to talk about Snowden.
Really?
Let's skip him. He may or may not be in Russia.
He may not be.
You know what I heard? Someone said
I heard the Chinese got all the information they needed from him and let him go.
Yeah, or disposed of him or something. What I heard is I talked to a couple of people that actually think he's still here in the States.
Oh.
I mean, over there in the States, not here in Liechtenstein.
Not Liechtenstein.
No.
Liechtenstein is a state.
They think he's hiding out in the open.
That's the best place to hide.
You
know, if you're going to hide, if you want to hide a needle, you don't hide in a haystack. You hide in a box of needles.
You put it, yeah. Right.
I just wanted to, maybe Snowden's wearing a pair of these. Did you hear about this? A Japanese company has made a pair of glasses that interferes with facial recognition technology. It puts out 11 near-infrared LED light beams that people can't see, but the cameras can see, and what it does is it puts a big glare, or it kind of washes out your face.
Yeah.
And so they're like normal glasses. You can see them, but when you walk through airports or wherever there's facial recognition places, it kind of blurs and obscures your face, and they can't determine who you are.
Well, Snowden, it was funny. He wasn't wearing glasses up until we saw him appear on TV in Hong Kong. That's not true. That's not true at all.
They probably slipped him several pair.
He does wear glasses. Good friends with Google, too, which... They have glasses, so I don't know.
I think I just wear the Groucho Marx thing, with the big nose and the mustache and the
Do you?
Clark Kent glasses. That's what I'd wear. Who am I? Groucho Marx. Oh, boy.
Hey, they indicted Tavares
the Boston
today.
bomber.
Yeah, the Boston bomber today. Actually, 30 counts, including using a weapon of mass destruction, which George Bush would love, bombing a public place, and causing death. So he's been indicted. Things are moving forward. That's kind of been pushed by the wayside.
Haven't heard much about him.
Yeah, terrorism is different now, and I'm Obama, and I'm going to do good things.
And, the NSA is listening.
Hey, look,
protecting
the NSA,
you from terrorism.
Yeah.
Except
they've stopped 50 thingies.
I don't believe that.
Yeah,
at all.
no. I mean, maybe 50 have been thwarted, but come on, prove to me that it was because the NSA is doing what they're doing.
Right. And how many of them were false flags set up by the federal government? We know
0
that that has happened.
0
the
of
FBI
them.
has come out and said they've done things like that.
0 of them.
Good thing. I like this. People are fighting back, especially sheriffs. I love sheriffs. I love sheriffs more and more.
All sheriffs?
Not all sheriffs. Some sheriffs.
Okay.
The Lone Ranger I love, and Tonto. El Dorado County Sheriff strips the Forest Service of state law enforcement power. He's taking unusual steps. I mean, a lot of places. Now, I hunt, deer hunt, up northern Michigan along National Lakeshore. They have lots of rangers there. And it borders state land. And so you have state land and federal land. And a lot of those rangers are deputized by the local sheriffs. And they can enforce state law as well as the federal law, which I despise. This guy has done that, I guess, in the past. But he's rescinded their deputy powers and their ability to enforce state laws because he's had so many complaints of abuse of power from the federal employees that he's basically said, all right, you guys can only enforce federal laws now. You're not going to enforce state laws.
Yeah, and
we'll see how long it goes.
That's absolutely how it should be anyway. They have no business trying to enforce state laws.
Well, the feds are saying, well, we've helped out the sheriffs a lot. I
don't care.
They're undermanned, and they don't
care.
They've got budget cuts, and we're here for them.
I don't care.
Yeah, I agree with you.
If the sheriff's office has to close down,
and
it's
this is
still
California.
Not the federal government's job to step in and take over.
Right.
You just don't have a sheriff.
Right, and you guys figure that out and take care of that.
Yeah.
Let's see. IRS. Do you really want your IRS CPAs carrying guns?
Yeah, absolutely.
You do?
Yeah. Because look, they have to collect taxes, and it's for the greater good. It's for the common welfare of the nation.
I've heard that somewhere before. Well, between 2009 and 2011, there were 11 accidental IRS discharges of firearms.
That's less than in your house.
I know it. Way less. I've only had 10. At least 3 of the cases may have resulted in property damage or personal injury. Now, on top of that, it's bad enough that these CPAs, these IRS agents have guns, period. They now want to train them with AR-15s.
Yeah, I saw some pictures. It looks pretty funny.
Why do IRS agents need AR-15?
Well, they are
type weapons.
They are part of the branch of government that is meant to enforce laws. Law enforcement requires
that's the issue that I have, is that the federal government is arming every federal employee that they can because they are worried that the people might start getting a little upset about what the federal government is doing.
Do you think the Supreme Court will pick up arms if they have to?
I think those 9 people will.
You think so?
Yeah, I think, 5 of them will, or 4 of them, or whatever, ones that are conservative. They have guns already. I'm sure the other ones would never have a firearm.
That's true.
Yeah, so they wouldn't want that.
No.
So I'm wondering, do you really want these guys walking around with ARs?
You know how you solve these types of problems is you get rid of these departments.
Right.
You don't need the IRS. Get rid of the IRS. Rewrite the tax code to be, hey, write down your income on the back of a piece of paper and send us a check for this specific percent. Or maybe not even that much. But, I mean, come on. Anyway, we are out of time. Holy cow.
We really are getting close, aren't we?
It needs to be bigger because I missed it. But
well, I have like 2 minutes, or do you want to do
I don't know
an ad? I think we should
have 2 minutes.
We need to take a break.
Out of time.
You said we're out of time. You're the boss.
So I want to thank everyone for listening. Don't forget to head over to atoddshow.com, facebook.com/atoddshow. Send us some emails. Either use the contact form or talk at atoddshow.com.
Let us know how we're doing. If we stink, let us know. If you like us, let us know. We need some feedback. We're so lonely.
We are lonely.
We're very lonely.
All right, well, till next time. See you next week.
Bye-bye.